We're back, everybody, and we're going to finish off this sermon. It's a good sermon, and everybody going to get benefited from it. So if you're ready, let's get started. So I never try to miss a chance of telling a person, thank you for what they done. Normally what I do, if somebody donate 5, 10, 15, I don't care what it is. It could be 10 cents. I would send them a card thanking them. I'll send them a thank you card. That's just what I do. That's what God put on my heart to do, you know. It's not something that I have to do, but I'm showing an act of kindness myself, showing that you didn't have to do what you done. But I'm going to be kind enough to send you a card to let you know that, hey, I'm grateful for that. I appreciate that. We need this right here to go forward in our ministry. We need more people like you. You know, this is what I would be saying. But what are you saying? If you have your kindness, what are you doing? If you're producing, and God know you're producing, keep producing. Keep right on producing. You know, and I think back to, I go back to my childhood a lot. And I think about the people that I grew up with, you know, in my teenage year when I'm running around going crazy and all this, and we ain't caring too much about kindness and none of that kind of stuff. And I think about my sister, you know, Sister Antoinette Davis and her husband Herbert. You know, I knew them when we were just running around. We ain't thinking about nothing. And then I watched them. They went from playing to holding hand to kissing to getting married and been married just about 100 years, I think. They know somebody I know that ain't never seen them with nobody else. It's hard to meet a couple like that, but they are like that. But you know, they show an act of kindness, you know, by donation. And I know that they have their own church that they have to provide for. And I appreciate that. You know, like I said, and every chance I get, I try to let a person know that their kindness is not going without being noticed. You know, it's just not going to be like that. But they are growing and producing those kind of trees that Paul is talking about. We couldn't see when we was young, when we was growing up. We didn't know that we had them qualities in our life that we have now. Here it is, Antoinette, she's a full member of her church. She worked for the church pantry. I mean, she's doing good by God. I mean, we didn't see this when we was coming up. We didn't see that at all. Her sister Rita, she doing the same thing. We was running around being just a wild and crazy. We didn't know nothing about what we were going to be doing serving God today. But look at us. Look at us. God was producing in us these same fruits that we didn't know nothing about. But now we look at it. We have those fruits. We're producing those fruits in our lives. So here it is. We're growing up. We have that love. We have that joy coming from love. We have that peace that produces out of all of that. And then, after you have the love, the joy, and the peace, those three kind of go together. Then you have the patience, the kindness, and the next fruit that's going to be produced is goodness. Now, I'm going to tell you something about goodness. Goodness and kindness, you know, that's in that prayer. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, says David. But also, we have to recognize what Jesus said. And Jesus, it made a lot of sense once you investigate it. Jesus said, there is not one person good on this earth. Only person that is good is the Father in heaven. This is what Jesus said. He said, you can do some good things, but you are not good. And we are not good because of the sinful nature that we have. We can do good things, but we will never be considered good according to God. But we can do some good things. And there's some good things that we do. We sure do. Like I said, I go back to Two Hat Publishing. Two Hat Publishing do a lot. If I know that I'm running short on anything, for us, I need something to eat, I know I can go and talk to my brother Oliver over there, and he'll give me a meal. He gonna do this. And regardless of wherever I fall short, I know that Sister Sister Joyce in there, she gonna make sure that she gonna do everything in her power to make sure that I got it. It's a network of goodness just going around. Cause see, goodness is only gonna go where goodness is gonna be. I mean, goodness and badness is not gonna hang together. It just ain't gonna happen. It did not say, surely goodness and badness gonna follow me all the days of my life. That is not what David said. Goodness and mercy shall follow me. So wherever you go and whatever you do, the good that you produce, you don't even have to be around no more. But the goodness that you produce is still going to be around. People going to be talking about it. That's just like Brother Oliver. He's going to be talking about what's going on here today. Now here it is. Two Hat Publishing going to be gone home, packed up all his gear. He going to be gone. But he don't know that we're going to be talking about him when he leave. But it's not going to be nothing bad. It's going to be some good stuff we're going to say about him. Because he's taking his time and effort to do what he's doing. Because if it weren't for him, you would not be able to be listening and seeing me at this time. So I got to give him the thanks for the goodness that he put in. And when he said the kindness and goodness, you know, this brother right here, he got that. So here it is. He don't even know it, but he's growing this tree for God too. So here it is. This tree is growing. You got your first 3 tiers: the love, the joy, the peace. It's strong. It's a bond. They together. After that, you get a break in the tree to where you got a gap. The tree is growing now. You think that, you know, this is all it's going to be. It's going to grow up. But then came patience. Then came goodness. Then came kindness. And then came goodness. That's another gap right there. So this tree right here is growing up. If you ever notice a tree, there's always gaps inside the tree. It don't just be limb. There's always be like a splurt of this tree growth that it don't produce limbs. It don't make no limbs. It just grow. And with what Paul is saying here with these 9 fruits, it grow 3, then 3, and now we're coming to the bottom 3. Now, these 3 fruits right here, the way I look at these fruits right here is the way I look at a relationship. A relationship is based on these 3 fruits. If you do not possess these 3 fruits in your relationship will not last. It will not grow. Because see, all of these first 6 fruits, all what it did was attract. It attract people to you because of all of the fruit that you got. So now you done poured in. So a lot of people looking at you. Here it is. If you're a sister, you got a lot of brothers looking at you because they want to be around you. If you're a brother, you got a lot of sisters want to get hitched up with you because they think that you are who they want to be with. You are showing yourself to be a servant of God. And most people want to be around somebody that's serving God if they are serving God. So here it is. You done put on these false airs that you are serving God. And so now we done got married. And now it's time for these other fruits to grow. And if you are not living by these fruits, that's when your tree start withering. The love that it was based on, that's the first thing that's going to start diminishing. And when love goes, everything else is going to start going right down the tube. Because when you take out love, that joy is out of there. Peace, ain't no more peace because you're arguing all the time. Now you're fussing. You can't see eye to eye about nothing. So once those 3 is gone, you can't even see no goodness, kindness, or none of that no more. So what are these fruits that we're talking about? We're talking about the last 3 fruits. And the first of those fruits is faithfulness. Faithfulness. Faithfulness, if you can't base your relationship off of faithfulness and trust, I mean, you already going down a one-way road. You going down a one-way road to what we call disaster. Disaster. There's a lot of relationship that ended in disaster because they portrayed that they love God. And then once you get married to this person, you find out that they don't love God. They only wanted you. So they put on a false image to get you. Now that they got you and found out they can get you, now they don't even want you no more. So now he's trying to use them same fruits and try to catch somebody else out. But if you are faithful to your mate, you are faithful to your mate gonna know it. And I mean, your mate can walk away and go and do whatever it is in this world that God called for her to do. And she's not going to be concerned. She's not going to be worried that nobody is going to sway her mate away from her, because he served God and he is faithful not to her first, but to God first. As long as you are faithful to God first, you ain't got to worry about what goes on around me. That's just like what I tell my friend. I said, if I'm faithful to God, it don't matter how many women come in my life. It doesn't matter, because I love God. And I'm not going to do anything to make myself be disapproved in God's sight. I done came too far to do that. You know, you can have a friend and you can be friends for life. That don't mean you got to sleep with them. You don't have to sleep with them, but you can, and that will keep you friends. Because once you sleep with a person, that changes everything. It changes everything. And now it make you lose that trust. You can't be faithful when you done lost that trust. So here it is, people. If you want your marriage to grow, if you want your relationship to work, first thing you need to do is you got to keep that love as a foundation. Once you get that love and you produce those other 5 fruits, now you want to be faithful. Nobody can't make you be faithful. There's no book in teaching you how to be faithful. What you have to do is serve God. Do the things that God wants you to do to be faithful. And once you want to serve God and be truthful to God, want to show God, God, I want to be approved by you. Not man. I want to be approved by you, because I'm always going to fall short with man. Everything I do in life, man going to look at it with a microscope. Well, you know, Pastor Ballard, he did this, Pastor Ballard did that. So, what do God say? What do God say? Out of everything that I may have done in my life, and you know, and I question this, and even to myself, I'm saying, God, you can use me? God said, yes, I can use you. I can use you. And I said, okay then. I like that. Let's do this. And I've been serving God wholeheartedly ever since. But I was thinking there for a minute that with my past life, that God couldn't use me. So I'm telling you today, I don't care what you done in life. If you ask God for forgiveness, whether you think you hear him say, okay, I forgive you or not, God forgives you. This is why God's named this ministry Second Chance Ministry. God is telling you, I give everybody a second chance, not just a second chance. I give you as many chances as you need, as long as you are truthful about serving me and want to come and have a relationship with me. I will take you in. This is what God called for us to do. So here it is. You are faithful. You are faithful. So the next one we're going to look at to put on your tree, gentleness. Now I'm going to tell you something, man. I tell you, and then, I have seen some men talk to some women mighty strong. I have seen some men that you have talked to your wives real strong. And I don't know how you look at things, but I'm going to tell you how God look at it and what God say. Your wife or your husband, whether you believe it or not, is supposed to be your best friend. And you're going to tell me that this is how you talk to your best friend? That ain't right. I mean, this person that you are talking to like this knows everything about you. They know intimate things about you that don't nobody else know. And here it is. You're going to treat them without having gentleness in it. And when I say that, because you should treat a woman with gentleness. I don't care what kind of woman she is. God put them here for us, not to abuse, but for us to enjoy. When you are with a woman that you're supposed to love, and you can't be gentle with her anymore, you are not producing this tree. You are not being the tree that God grows. This is not God's tree. It's some other kind of tree that you're growing on your own. But you are not producing no fruits. Because the first time you start beating, fighting, abusing, trash talking what God gave you, because you didn't give it to yourself. God gave you. He gave us woman for our enjoyment. And for men to come out here calling them B's and H's and all this, I don't know where that come from. But that's something that I never done and I never will do, because I look at woman as the weaker vessel. She's not as strong as you are, even though she may stand up to you in argument, but she's a loving, caring person, and she is the only reason why you here today. Because if it weren't for woman, we could not reproduce. So you need to look at that. You need to look at that, because the way you treat your wife, you have children. Those children is watching, and they are going to treat their girlfriends and wives the same way. If you abusing your child mother, if you are abusing their mother, they're going to grow up and abuse their wife. It's just a known fact. But you can stop that today. Put that gentleness in. Put that faithfulness back into your relationship. Put it back in now. Make that tree solid. This tree right here that God is growing, that Paul is telling us about, have roots that's anchored by rivers of water. It's a strong tree. Big old tree. It'll feed a lot of people. When you get one person that have these traits that Paul is talking about, the fruits of the Spirit, this ain't no little bitty pecan tree that you see around. This ain't no little bitty apple tree. This is a tree that stretches for miles in the sky. People be able to can hear about you, know about you miles around. They ain't never seen you, but they know what you done, who you are. And they know you are trustworthy to your wife. You are trustworthy to your husband. That's where that faithful and gentleness come in. Now, in order for all of this to work, we're going to come to our last and final fruit, brothers and sisters. And that is self-control. Now, I tell anybody, when I had children, I tell them, I can't follow you around everywhere you go, telling you to do right and wrong. I can't do that. I can't tell you, well, you know what? There's a lot of money in that store, and you go in there and rob them, you're going to go to prison. I can't tell you that. You have to learn self-control. A lot of times in life, something in life will happen to you that changes everything about you. Something. And normally it's dramatic. Something dramatic that happened in your life that changes you, that make you look at life different. Yeah, I have known people that have been murderers, killers. I mean, it's a difference between a murderer and a killer. I mean, the scum of the earth is what people call. But your scum and God's scum, it's two different scums. You're getting it confused here. God said he'll accept everybody back that repent. But with man, I don't care what you done. You just sorry, you this and you that. That's not what God said. But through life, we have to learn some self-control. When you learn that self-control to where, you know what? Here it is. My friend just dropped this wallet and it's full of money. You know what? I'm going to give it to him. Here you are. I don't have to have what's yours. I'm sufficient with what God have gave me. I don't have to try to steal, take, and rob and hurt you for what God have given you. Self-control. This is where that come from. That self-control. You have to be able to control yourself. If you can't control yourself, ain't nobody gonna follow you around. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. They're not gonna do that because you're not even in control of yourself. And here it is, you're gonna let somebody else be in charge of you? Nah. First, get control of yourself. This woman is not gonna follow you around if you a loose cannon. She's not gonna go somewhere with you and she's gonna put her and her children in danger. She ain't gonna do it. You have to have that self-control. You have to get that. And the only way you're gonna get that is through the Word of God. There's no other way. And when you develop all of these fruits, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, you will be just like that tree that sits on that riverbank and got nothing but water going to the roots. That tree gonna be strong, and that's the way you're gonna be strong. So let's turn our attention back to God. He's a second chance God. It don't matter what you're doing in life. If you ain't serving God, give God a try. You never don't know what God have in store for you. Just give God a try. Give him a second chance and see what he start producing these qualities, these fruits in your life. Because these fruits ain't easy to come by. They're not easy to come by, because if it was, everybody would be producing them. But if you look around in this great big forest of a world that we have, you see fruits sporadically, just sporadically all over the place. It's not fruits wherever you go. So I ask you to turn your life back to God if you haven't. If it's anything we here at Second Chance Ministry can do to help you do that, I'm all willing. I got a post office box. You can drop me a line and just talk to me. It's not going to hurt you. You don't feel like writing, send me a card. Just let me know that you hear me out there. Let me know that God is using me to do something for you in your life. That's all I ask. And God will do the rest. He'll do the rest. So I'm going to leave you with that. And with that, I'm going to ask you, what kind of fruits is you producing? Is you producing any fruits at all? That's up to you. Only you know the answer to that. You can't fool yourself. So I leave that to you. And I also like to tell anybody that, like I said, if you're not serving God, you don't have a church that you attend, find your church. We are always available here. Find your church and start back serving God and watch your life change. Watch God bring goodness, kindness into your life like he have me. And with that, like I said, if you want to write to me, you can find me at Post Office Box 1115, Dallas, Texas 75313. I wait for you to write, and I wait till the next time when we'll get to meet again. Until then, God bless you. We love you, and live safe. Amen.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from 2X Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.